If you love food in restaurants and chains, you probably also love to hear all about what goes behind the closed staff doors. Customers often never find out what happens behind the scenes. So much drama, so many incidents, and so many heated scandals. The restaurant industry is spicier than it seems. Here are the 7 biggest restaurant scandals in the United States of America. Number 1. Sweetgreen CEO Fat Shaming Incident. Sweetgreen is one of the best salad lunch spots in the USA, but it landed into a huge controversy in 2021. Co-founder and CEO of Sweetgreen, Jonathan Neman, published a post on LinkedIn which he blamed obese Americans for the severity of the COVID-19 crisis. The post started with, "What if we made the food that is making us sick illegal? What if we tax processed food and refined sugar to pay for the impact of the pandemic?" This seemingly thoughtful post then abruptly changed course as Neiman followed it, with 78% of hospitalizations due to COVID are obese and overweight people. He questioned whether there was an underlying problem for the issue. Is there an underlying problem that perhaps we have not given enough attention to? Is there another way to think about how we tackle healthcare by addressing the root cause? He also wrote that no mask and no vaccine will save us, relating to the ongoing pandemic. Naturally, his comments caused a huge uproar, after which he deleted the tweet and apologized to employees, but stood behind the intent of the post. Number 2. The infamous McDonald's hot coffee incident. In 1992, Stella Liebeck, a 79-year-old woman in Albuquerque, New Mexico, bought a hot coffee from McDonald's. She spilled some of the coffee on herself and suffered sunburns. She sued McDonald's and won the case from the last fast food chain. But she should have known better. She became rich due to a dumb mistake she made. But here's the thing, while Liebeck accepts that the spill was her fault, the problem was that she wasn't driving. Her grandson was, and the car was parked. Secondly, the coffee wasn't just hot, it was so ridiculously hot, almost at boiling point, that it caused third-degree burns on her legs and genitals, nearly killing her. It required a major surgery and 2 years of medical treatment. And McDonald's knew that their coffee was insanely hot. They apparently kept the coffee between 180 degrees Fahrenheit and 190 degrees Fahrenheit to avoid refills, and had received hundreds of complaints even before this lawsuit. Liebeck didn't even want to go to court, she just wanted McDonald's to pay her medical expenses, which were around $20,000. McDonald's only offered $800, which is why she filed a lawsuit in 1994. After hearing evidence, the jury concluded that Liebeck should get much more than $20,000, and she settled for about $600,000. McDonald's finally changed how it heats up its coffee. Number 3. Papa John's founder resigning as CEO. The founder of Papa John's Pizza, John Schnatter, has always had a reputation for being controversial. In 2017, the pizza chain owner's net worth fell $70 million in less than 24 hours after the company released its third-quarter financial report. Schnatter blamed the poor sales on the buzz around NFL players' protests against racial inequality. Papa John's was a major sponsor of the NFL, and Schnatter blamed the sales on the decision of some of the NFL players to kneel during the pre-game national anthem. NFL leadership has hurt Papa John's shareholders, said Schnatter at the time. He said the NFL has hurt us by not resolving the current debacle, and said the protests should have been nipped in the bud a year and a half ago. The comment, of course, received major backlash, and Papa John's was forced to issue an apology. Schnatter, who founded the company in 1984, resigned as the CEO. He did, however, remain the chairman of the board. Months after the incident, Schnatter landed in another controversy. In a conference call between Papa John's executives and the marketing agency Laundry Service, Schnatter tried to downplay his earlier NFL remarks, allegedly saying that Colonel Sanders called blacks in and never faced a public rebuke. After this incident, Laundry Service owner Casey Wasserman terminated the company's contract with Papa John's. Schnatter released a statement acknowledging the use of inappropriate and hurtful language. "Regardless of the context, I apologize," he said, according to CNBC. Simply stated, racism has no place in our society. He then stepped down as the chairman of the board as well. Number 4. Jared from Subway's shocking arrest. For 15 years, Jared Fogle was an inspiring spokesperson for Subway. Fogel was a business major at Indiana University in 1998. He weighed 425 pounds at the time. There was a Subway sandwich shop near his place. I was really feeling low, just feeling bad about myself across the board, and I was standing there at the Subway sandwich shop, reading a sign advertising their 7 sandwiches with 6 grams of fat menu. It just sort of dawned on me, I liked Subway, maybe this could be a way I could lose weight. Fogel told Herald Times in 2000, in just a year Fogel lost 245 pounds on his strict diet of Subway. His lunch included a 6-inch turkey sub, a bag of baked potato chips, and a Diet Coke. He became a spokesperson for Subway, increasing their sales by a good margin every year. He also established a nonprofit organization called the Jared Foundation in 2004, through which he visited schools and communities and educated them about obesity and healthy lifestyle choices. But it turned out that Fogel used his fame for dark and disturbing purposes. In 2015, he was found guilty of child pornography and paying for sex with minors. Subway obviously immediately dropped Fogel when the charges came out. He was charged with 15 years in prison and he will be out in 2029. Number 5. Charges against Denny's for racism. In 1994, Denny's came under fire for violation of federal public accommodation laws against racial discrimination. In 1993, 6 Black Secret Service officers were allegedly not served breakfast at the restaurant while their white colleagues received their meals on time. The agents were a part of the security force escorting President Clinton to the Naval Academy in Annapolis. In another instance, a black federal judge was forced to wait an hour for his food while he was taunted because of his race by some white teenagers. Thousands of black customers came forward to complain about being segregated or made to wait longer than white people. There have also been instances when they were just refused service or asked to prepay. This lawsuit combined more than 4,300 claims that the restaurant was racist. It put the restaurant at risk, especially considering that about 10% of its customers were black. The company denied any specific policy of racial discrimination. However, it agreed to pay a settlement of $54 million and took immediate steps to fix the problems. Denny's made a deal with the NAACP and invested $1 billion in jobs and contracts for minorities. It made such great progress with its minority employees that in 2001, Denny's parent company Advantica was named the best company in America for minorities by Fortune magazine. In 2002, they won 3rd place. However, in 2016, Denny's was in trouble once more. A black couple sued the restaurant for forcing them to prepay when they visited a location in Koreatown in August 2014. The restaurant argued that it was because of the large size of the order and the history of customers leaving without paying, but it was in violation of the state law as well as Denny's own policies. Then in 2020, a couple took to Facebook to talk about an incident that happened in Denny's in Washington, where 4 African-American men walked in to eat but had to wait for 10 minutes to be seated, even though the restaurant was empty. Then they were also asked to pay first. Denny's addressed the matter and released a statement that the employees in question are no longer a part of Denny's system. Number 6. Chipotle norovirus scandal. The 2000 saw burrito chain Chipotle go under the radar for many food health and safety issues. But the 2015 norovirus outbreak in Boston was the worst of them all. The string of outbreaks began in August 2015 in Simi Valley, just 2 weeks before an E. coli outbreak at Chipotle spread to multiple other states. Symptoms of both illnesses are similar: diarrhea, stomach cramps, and fever. But norovirus is far more likely than E. coli to cause vomiting. The norovirus sickened 80 students from Boston College who ate at a nearby Chipotle restaurant. Norovirus causes large outbreaks of sickness and can be spread by just one sick person. Simple hand washing is not enough to prevent it from spreading. At the time, prosecutors said that the outbreak might be because of a sick employee who was ordered to continue working in violation of company policy after vomiting in the restaurant. A total of 141 people fell ill after visiting the Boston Chipotle, while 234 customers and employees became ill in Chipotle in Simi Valley. More than 1,100 people in the U.S. fell ill from 2016 to 2018. For that and other food safety violations, Chipotle ended up paying out $25 million, the largest fine ever imposed in a food safety case, prosecutors said. Number 7. Shake Shack's bun scandal. Shake Shack is popular for its mashed burgers, crinkle-cut fries, and most importantly, Martin's potato rolls. However, local Pennsylvania news site Billy Penn reported that the people behind Martin's have donated thousands of dollars to front-running Republican candidate for Pennsylvania Governor Senator Doug Mastriano. Mastriano was known as a far-right Republican and was backed by then-President Trump in the elections. He gained popularity as a Trump supporter with Christian nationalist beliefs. NBC News reported that he also used campaign money to charter the buses that brought people to the Capitol. Shake Shack is one of the largest buyers of Martin's buns, while it champions for LGBTQ+ rights and racial equality. The chain didn't make any moves to change its relationship with Martin's. Which scandals blew your mind? Tell us in the comments below. If you enjoyed the video, like and share it. Subscribe to our channel for more.